Nikita, Sandra, Idrisha, Cassia, and Carolinda. We are the fixers. Where to look if you've lost your mind and need to make things better.
24-year-old Maria does not know if she will be able to foster an intimate relationship with a man again. Not after Brian, the father of her 6-year-old son, attacked her with a machete while she slept before setting their home ablaze. The incident has left her disfigured and has shattered her self-confidence. Gone too are her interest in men and their interest in her after the ill-fated night. For now, her focus is on securing meaningful employment so she can gather the pieces of her broken life, and even that has proven difficult as employers are turned off by her scars. Caught in a fit of rage, Maria, who had been Brian's lover for 6 years, stormed into the house they shared and chopped her repeatedly in the head, neck, arms, and pubic area. The heinous act reportedly occurred after Brian's friends from the community jeered him openly, saying Maria was too pretty for him and that their son was not his biological child. Believing his blood-soaked partner was dead, Brian then locked himself with her inside a house he had built and started the fire. Luckily, their son was with his grandmother and escaped the doom home that night. Brian died in the blaze, but Maria miraculously awoke in a critical condition at the hospital a day later. To this day, she claims she has no memory of how she managed to find help.
I came home from work and went to sleep, and the only thing I know is that I wake up in the hospital. It is when my neighbor came to visit me at the hospital. She told me that I was the one who came to her door knocking and asking for help. Said Maria. She saw the state that I was in and brought me to the hospital. I can't remember none of it. I just woke up on life support machine with my head bandaged up and tubes in my throat and in my mouth. She said, adding that doctors performed 6 surgeries in a month so she could be able to eat and breathe. 7 months after the incident, she now hauls around haunting facial scars that are growing more menacing as the scleroid tissues stretch across her jaws. She wears a metal brace inside her head, which holds her jaw in place so she can speak. But they cause pain whenever the weather gets cold. Maria said, hoping she will one day save enough to try plastic surgery. For now, however, she looks at herself in the mirror less. Sometimes I don't really like talking about it. Everywhere I go, people see me and ask questions. And the first question is, did someone cut you across your face? Some people say negative things. Some of them say, why did you not leave him before? You don't see that he is a madman? But she never knew that he was a madman, noting that he was aggressive but never before being violent towards her. And even if he was, Maria said she had nowhere else to go as Brian was her only source of support at the time.
What she needs now, she said, is for employers to see past her scars so she can one day replace the furniture that she lost in the fire. Some persons won't hire me because of the scars. They tell a bad story about me, especially in the food industry. In restaurants and so on, some people just don't like to see or stomach certain things, she explained. The spate of killings has caused public uproar, prompting an announcement by the Prime Minister that the government is tabling a domestic violence bill to buttress existing domestic violence laws. We have had for too long a permissive region that allows a man to trespass upon the person of a woman without any form of rebuke, without the region or Caribbean saying it is wrong.
Research topic: Domestic violence against women. Description of method. We decided to utilize a case study research and the qualitative method of research. The case study research was used to comprehensively gather detailed information from one person. The qualitative method of research was used to gather non-numerical data. Questionnaires were distributed with open-ended questions with a sample size of 6 persons. We used a target group of women that experienced some form of domestic violence. Participants. For the case study approach, only one participant was involved. The qualitative research method, we used the opportunity sampling to select the participants. Females between the ages of 25 and 40 who were available and willing at the time the questionnaires were issued. We distributed questionnaires to 6 persons from the village of Lambo. Data collection. Data was collected by the use of questionnaires comprising of 15 questions, 10 being open-ended questions and 5 scale questions ranging from 1 to 5. Unstructured interviewing were opted for women who were willing to participate. Advantage: we were able to gather a wealth of information via the questionnaires and interviews in depth and details. We also gained the ability to interact with the participants where we received clarifications for answers that were not clear. Disadvantage: time consuming. The researcher can be biased as in the form of the case study. Subjective opinions of the researcher intrude in the assessment of what the data means. I now hand you over to Miss Carolinda.
Problems in Trinidad and in the Caribbean at large is domestic violence. According to an IDB study conducted in Trinidad in 2017, of over 1,000 women in Trinidad and Tobago showed that 1 in every 3 women have suffered from violence at the hands of their partner. Gender-based violence, and in particular violence against women and girls, is one of the most common forms of insecurity facing citizens of the Caribbean, according to the United Nations. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service noted that between 2005 and 2015, about 300 women were killed due to domestic abuse, and while there are over 7,000 reported cases of domestic abuse between 2008 and 2015. The 2017 Trinidad and Tobago Women's Health Survey, the first of its kind in the country, analyzed the prevalence of intimate partner violence, IPV, in a survey involving 1,079 women from across Trinidad and Tobago. The study, which was carried out by CURD Limited for the Inter-American Development Bank, looked at the incidences of sexual, physical, and emotional abuse and the effects on women, including their health and their ability to work. The most common acts of IPV as per study involve being slapped or having something thrown at them, being pushed or shoved, and being hit with a fist or other object. The study showed that women who experienced IPV had also been victims of controlling behaviors by their partners. 30% of survivors said their partners were jealous or angry if they spoke to another man. 23% of survivors said the partners needed to know where they were at all times. I now hand over to Cassia.
The study found that the prevalence of IPV over a woman's lifetime was much higher among women with very controlling partners. Over 68% of women with very controlling partners experienced emotional partner violence over their lifetime. 24% of women with controlling partners experienced sexual partner violence, and 56% of women with controlling partners experienced physical violence. 27% of women who experienced physical or sexual partner violence said they had thoughts of suicide as well as increased alcohol and drug usage. The study showed that women who experience IPV are also at greater risk for unwanted pregnancies, as they are sometimes prevented from accessing birth control, as well as sexually transmitted infections such as HIV. 1/3, or 31%, of IPV survivors said they suffered injuries as a result of the violence inflicted on them, and 1/5, or 21%, of women had to seek medical help for these injuries. Additionally, over 7% of women said they experienced physical violence during pregnancy, and over 90% of these incidents involved the father of the unborn child.
Scholarly articles: Women's Education, Marital Violence and Divorce, a Social Exchange Perspective, Journal of Marital and Family, by Krieger Derek A., Elson Richard B., Warner, Cordy, Wenger, 2013. Long-term physical and mental effects of domestic violence, Kavita Alijo, 2014. Domestic Violence Against Women, a Family Menace, by Funmiyola Bosedi Alokan, 2014. LukeTT.com and theguardian.co/TT News. I now hand you over to Miss Sandra.
Never be bullied into silence. Never allow yourself to be a victim. Accept no one's definition of your life and define yourself. By Harvey S. Firestone. The world is a dangerous place to live, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. Someone will always be prettier. Someone will always be smarter. Someone will always be younger, but they will never be you.